Hey guys, Josh here with another update, and today I'm coming to you from the city of Antakya, which is historical Antioch from the Book of Acts in the Bible. Uh, Really cool, really beautiful city, but one of the cities that got hit hardest in the earthquake. I'm here meeting with some people that are doing really amazing, really cool stuff in the earthquake zone, which I'll get to a little bit later. But first, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on some of the things that have happened the last while. Right now, it is just about 6 months since the earthquakes happened, February 6th. And yeah, cleanup is still in progress. It's, yeah, often so shocking to me and so hard to believe just the sheer scale of what's happened here. So I was driving through the city today, and still 6 months after the earthquake, there are excavators and like machines working to take apart buildings that have been destroyed in the earthquake. And there's still tons and tons of buildings that need to have that happen. So it will continue to be months and months still before even the cleanup from the earthquake is completed, let alone before like real reconstruction can begin. So right now in Antakya, the weather's in like the mid to high 30s. It was about 35 last time I checked, about an hour ago. And most people are still living in tents, or more and more people are moving into these container homes. They're like prefabricated house kind of structures. But yeah, the weather, especially for people in tents, is like really intense. The way that most of these emergency tents are set up, they hold in a lot of the heat, and so when it was great in the winter when the earthquakes first happened, but as time has gone on through the summer, it makes it really difficult to live in. So more and more people are transitioning to either shelters that are designed for keeping cool in more than heat, or these prefabricated buildings, even though the prefabricated buildings tend to be quite expensive. But yeah, I was talking to several people in the city today, and they were mentioning that only about 1 out of every 50 homes or like residential areas in the city is still usable, still standing. So about 49 out of every 50, or about 98%, are unusable, unsafe. And so because of that, the vast majority of people are living in temporary shelters now until reconstruction can happen. And there's a lot of things complicating reconstruction right now. But yeah, even now, 6 months after the earthquake, there's still a ton of need in so many areas, including housing, including food, including work, and some other things I'll get into in a bit here. But one story I heard is that people who had fled the area when the earthquakes first happened are trying to come back to the earthquake zone now and like reset up their lives. But there's just so much demand on these container homes, on these shelters, and on tents, that even the tents that nobody wants anymore, even they're basically impossible for people to find and to like be able to stay in, because there's just so much need and so much demand, and compared to that demand, so little access to those resources. There's tons of these temporary shelters that have been put up, but the demand for it is just so much more. So yeah, just wanted to update you on some projects we've been involved in and working on lately. So in my last video, I mentioned that one of the things we're trying to work towards is to partner with organizations that are adapting well to the changing needs within the earthquake zone, while also committing to be present in the region going forward, even when most of the world and a lot of the NGOs that were helping in the region originally have forgotten or left, or just like aren't engaged with people here anymore. We've been looking for partners that will continue to be here and will be continuing to find the best way to help going forward. And so wanted to share one of the stories of one of those groups right now. So there's actually a local church within the city that we got connected with. I've actually known them since 2017, when they were providing refugee aid for Syrians who were fleeing the Syrian war. When the earthquake happened, these guys stepped right up and just started taking the same skills they had learned from helping Syrians and started using it to help the people in their city. So I'm actually sitting across right now from an area that they've set up. You can see kind of the construction center right now where they have resources for building container homes and for building shelters. But the area extends on into those trees there. And they've set up this area to be helpful to the people, like to the needs that people are experiencing here. So they have actually a bunch of different things that they're doing. And I got a chance to spend the afternoon with the pastor's wife here and several of the volunteers who are working in the area. And it's just super cool how they've been able to help in the area. So they're distributing like food packages and hygiene kits. They're, as I showed you, like setting up these shelters, specifically ones that are designed to keep the inhabitants cool. And you may have noticed that there's some children walking around in the background occasionally. They actually have daily children's time where children who have been affected by the earthquake can come and have a safe place to have fun, to play, and just to be loved in the midst of what has been an utterly challenging situation for them. And one of the things that's been most surprising and most exciting to me about what these guys are doing is, even though they're a fairly small little church by North American standards, there's only a few dozen people in the church, they actually have over 3,000 families that are registered with them to receive aid packages, to receive food and clothes. They're distributing like sandals for kids to be able to like walk around safely on the ground in the midst of the heat and in the midst of there being dangerous like metal and rubble and stuff all around the ground. They're providing for the needs that people have for 3,000 families, even though they're just a small little church. And the church has been receiving a lot of really cool and really beautiful help. They have volunteers from all over the world who are continuing to come and be involved and to help. They have people from Asia. There's Koreans and Japanese and Chinese who are coming to help. There's Americans and Canadians, and I spoke with an Argentinian lady today and a Hungarian. There's people from all over the world. There's even Russians and Ukrainians working side by side in the earthquake zone here alongside the church to help people who have been affected by the earthquake, which is just so cool and so beautiful to me. So we're really excited by what the church is doing here, and we are wanting to get behind and help them. So we are actually helping fund several of the distributions going forward, getting the food resources and various other things to the earthquake victims that are needing it, and to help out some of those 3,000 families that are registered with these guys. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited to partner with what they're doing. And yeah, wanted to share that with you because it's just really cool and really beautiful. Another project that I wanted to give you a quick update on, if you remember in my last video, I was talking about how we were researching the possibility of using desktop 3D printers to create prosthetic hands and prosthetic arms for kids who had lost their hands or arms in the earthquake. Well, it turns out there's actually an organization in Turkey that is already doing that and already has like a whole bunch of the more complicated elements of that figured out in ways that we wouldn't be able to do with a lot more focus and a lot more commitment. They actually have been a charity that's been established since 2017, and they've been creating these hands for kids for years at this point. Right now they have a list of 1,500 kids throughout the earthquake zone who are in need of a prosthetic hand, prosthetic device of some kind, and they are in the process of starting to build those and roll them out. Again, another thing that's really cool about this is that traditional prosthetics can literally cost tens of thousands of dollars a piece. So if a kid wants to get a prosthetic arm, it's going to cost like $10,000 at least, maybe $20,000 to like be able to make that for them, which is just simply out of the range of the vast majority of people who are in need of that from the earthquake zone. In contrast with this, it only costs a few $100s to get a kid set up with a prosthetic hand that's been 3D printed, which is just super cool, super exciting. So we've actually committed to sponsoring several of these kids to get prosthetic hands, which otherwise they'd be waiting many, many years for, or maybe honestly never actually get access to. So that's another thing that is super cool and that we're super excited about, and that I wanted to share with you guys. So just a couple things in closing. We are super thankful for people who are living in this region, working in this region, and continuing to help earthquake victims long after so much of the world has completely forgotten about the events that happened here. And we are excited to continue to partner with them and to work alongside them and to continue to try and help this region as it recovers from what has been an utterly, utterly devastating series of events. And just one personal update from me. I am actually coming back to Canada for a season this fall, which means obviously during that time I will be less involved with the hands-on earthquake relief work. But yeah, as you can see, there are amazing people that are continuing on the work, and we are going to continue to support them and do what we can to equip them to help the people in this region. So again, thank you guys all so much for all your support, all your prayers. We couldn't be doing what we're doing if not for you. So thank you so much. We love you. See you later.